Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Carrie's Gardening Channel. So today is September the 1st, 2019, and I wanted to show you one of the volunteer sunflowers that came up here. Now this greets us with its cheery yellow blossoms, and this is easily over 6 feet tall. And it has multiple sunflowers on it. And sunflowers come in multiple different colors. They have some that are multi-toned, which we do have one of those that was a volunteer down in the Hollow Garden, and that one is blooming. Now that one there has a larger head on it, but it also has the different the side blossoms that will come on it. Now sunflowers, some of sunflowers get like one real big head on them, and then they don't give any more heads off of them. I believe they're the Mammoth Sunflowers. I think we grew those years ago when I was really little. I think I remember something about those. But the thing with those is if something happens to that main stalk, you don't get any flowers off of them then. So that is an issue with the sunflowers that only bloom one time. Now, most of your sunflowers will put off multiple side blossoms on them, and some people let their pole beans climb them. And sunflowers are part of the Three Sisters of Gardening. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or not, but what people do is they let the pole beans climb the sunflower stalks, and then they plant like their squash. And then what they do is they plant their squash around the sunflowers then, and everything kind of helps each other. Like the sunflower gives the pole bean support, and they all grow well together in a nice harmony. And it's pretty. I've seen it done already in photos, and it's a way to help save space. And because you have like your pole beans climbing your sunflowers, then you don't need a fence for the pole beans. And then like your squashes just grow underneath of them. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe I actually thought about letting some of my Tennessee dancing or spinning gourds climb them already, just to see what it would do and how it would look. I think it would look neat with the different gourds hanging off of it, as long as they wouldn't be too big, because like your bottle gourds, they'd probably pull that down. Now sunflowers can get really strong stems on them, so you do have to watch though if you get like a really bad windstorm or a really bad storm, because sometimes it can actually knock your sunflowers over, especially when they get like really tall. And sunflowers are good for helping to restore soil. And sunflowers are great food for feeding like different birds. I've seen goldfinches eating sunflower seeds already, where they actually land like on the flowers, and they'll be eating the seeds when the flowers are done blooming and the seeds have developed. Cardinals love sunflower seeds. Now, I've never seen a cardinal eating the sunflower seeds right off of the sunflowers, but I have seen goldfinches already. Now, sunflowers do come in multiple different colors. There's a lot of different styles of sunflowers, and I also like the real dark, like burgundy ones, when they have like the real dark black centers. They're really pretty. Some of like the blonder color sunflowers with some of like the pink in them, they're pretty as well. Now there are some dwarf varieties of sunflowers that don't get nearly as tall as this one here did. And sunflowers do readily reseed themselves, and sometimes though you have to watch when they do that in your garden, because you can get that many sunflowers that it starts giving too much shade, and then your plants underneath of them can't grow properly because they're not getting enough proper sunlight. And And I have had already where when I planted my sunflowers in my flower bed, my sunflowers, actually the flowers were facing towards the sun, so when you were looking at the front of my flower bed, you were seeing the backs of the blossoms because they were turned towards the sun. They weren't facing out. So you had to walk around to the back of the flower bed to see the sunflowers. And now sunflowers like well-drained soil, so you wouldn't want to plant them in like a soggy, marshy area. You want well-drained soil. And you do want to keep your soil moist when growing your sunflowers. You don't want to have it like soggy, but you do want to keep it moist, because even like when this gets really dry, even though we have like the grass down and stuff to help feed the plants in the soil and to help retain moisture, they will start wilting. So then you do have to give them some water if you don't get enough rain or enough rainfall. And sunflowers do best in full sun, and that is part of their name, sunflowers. They will eat compost if you give it to them. They love like compost and different things, and they don't really require like a lot of care like that. And I know some people use them like in children's gardens to you know, show the kids what sunflowers look like and stuff. And some people do eat the seeds from the sunflowers, like they'll roast them or something like that. That's not something that we do, but one thing that you can do is you can take, when the heads start producing the seeds, you can take and cut the stems off, and you can put them up like at your bird feeders for the birds to eat the seeds. Now, sunflower seeds do attract mice and other vermin, so that is something that you want to watch out for. So just like keep them away from your house if you can. And you can use sunflowers and cut flower arrangements. I've done that already, and I have won awards for my arrangements with sunflowers in them. And some people really like sunflowers. They love the colors of them, they love the flower itself, they love the texture, and they're very pretty. And I think that they're really, you know, cheery. They add a lot of different texture, like to arrangements and different things. And now some people do dry them. I've tried drying them already. I'm still working on figuring that out. That's one that I'm still working on figuring out exactly how to dry them to get them to look like some of the other people's that I have seen dried. And you know, sunflowers are part of like fall arrangements and fall decor. So with a pack of seeds, you know, you could do some really pretty arrangements up featuring sunflowers, and then you could put like your I believe it's pronounced pampas plume grass in with it, and that would look really pretty. You'd have like the airy feeling with the grass blooms, and then you'd have the pretty sunflowers to go along with it. And if you had like some gourds, you could put some gourds like down along the bottom base of like the vase, and just make your own fall decor. So that's just an idea. Or like another thing that you could do is like take your sunflowers, and if you had like pumpkins or like little miniature pumpkins, you could do like an arrangement with those where like you had your sunflowers in like the vase, and then you put your pumpkins like around them or something, and you know, have fun with it. There's so many different like the little scarecrows are out this time of the year, and you know, just have fun with it. Do something creative and have fun. And if you want to save seeds from your sunflowers, just wait till the flowers mature to the point where they have the seeds in them and the seeds are starting to fall out. And just clip you can clip the blossom off with the stem, and you can either shake them like in a paper bag, or you can shake them out like on newspaper or a box or something like that. And you do want to go through them to make sure that there's no damage from like any type of little worms that got into the seed hulls, because they'll try and eat like through the shells of the seeds. And that is something that you do want to, when you look at your seeds, you want to make sure that they don't have any of that damage. And if they do, just go ahead and take those seeds out. And you can just store them then in like a paper bag and put them in a cool, dark location for planting them next year. And when you plant your sunflower seeds out, just make sure that the danger of frost has passed. Now, volunteer seedlings, when they come up on their own, they're more already adapted to the climate. And the more that you collect seeds from your climate, and the more that your seeds come up in your climate, like from when the seeds drop and then they germinate the next year, they'll actually start adapting to your climate more. So like these here have been dropping their seeds and resowing themselves for a lot of years now. So and what we do is, if we have a bunch that come up where we don't want them, you can just transplant them to a different location. But just make sure when you transplant them that you do water them, because newly transplanted plants do like to have water. So that is something that you want to make sure that you do, is that you do give them water. So I hope you enjoyed my video on sunflowers. And if you've never added sunflowers to your garden, I hope that you do add some to them. They're really pretty, and they help brighten things up, and they're nice and cheery. So if you like my video, please like, comment, subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the little notification button. That'll tell you as I put a new video on. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'll have a link down in the description for my Twitter account. Thank yous for watching, and hope you have a nice day. Bye!